the exercise that we went through was the depth defensemen that we look to add. Do they equate to the depth players that we signed in the first place? And we made a conscious effort this year to see if that was the case. We had chances to add a lot of number of different depth defensemen, and at the end we didn't. So as an aside, that was our rationale. But there were some contingencies attached that I didn't like on some of the D, and really, in fact, getting Connolly opened it up a little bit from that perspective. But when you look at what Joe Morrow's done for us, when you look at what David Warsawski's done for us, when you look at what Zach Trotman's done for us, and even Chris Breen, he hasn't been up, but we sign these guys for depth. We tell them, you guys are depth guys. We didn't sign Joe for depth, but when they sign back, you know, they want a chance. So part of it is owing to them. Part of it is doing that exercise that I mentioned to you about looking at the cluster of kind of 7, 6, 7, 8 defensemen and then comparing it to what we have. So that was the rationale behind that. In summary, this last season leading up to today has been tough as far as getting a trade done, getting any sort of transaction done, and it's hard for a number of reasons. For us, we're obviously under a cap crunch, but it's just hard to get a deal done, and you see that the prices are so high that it makes it prohibitive, and that's really why we ended up going towards Connolly rather than a rental. And we looked really across throughout the forward rental market. He's a young guy. He's going to be with our group for a while. We would control his rights, and he's going to grow into a good player, and he can help us now. So looking to the future, but also to the present, and that's, you know, necessitated by the prices, and what we looked at is if we're going to spend the picks that we spent, let's look at all options, not just rental options.
We belong together. We stand proud and true. Remember when I said that I'd always be there for you?